But the fact that they know that they have Black Americans in pocket the way that they do is why they continue to do nonsense like this. Okay. Now, obviously, we all know, or some of you may know, right? Let me pull this up right now. Let me put this back on the screen. Now, obviously, we all know about this foolishness that passed under the Biden administration, right? Oh, Joe Biden, he did do something for Black Americans. Well, what did he do, right? Well, under the Biden administration, whoops, remember everybody? We got Hip Hop Celebration Day. And now, mind you, there's something else that I'm leading to something else. I'm going somewhere else with this, okay? I'm going somewhere else with this. It's not just about this, but this is just, this is just a little intro to what I'm going to get into next, right? But under the Biden administration, the Senate passes Hip Hop Celebration Day, August 11th. Now, mind you, the Senate, think about when you listen to CNN and MSNBC or Fox News and all these other channels. The Senate can't agree to pass anything. The Senate can't agree to pass not one thing, but the one thing they were able to agree on at the Senate, the one thing they were able to agree on, right, was making August 11 Hip Hop Celebration Day, as well as making August Hip Hop Recognition Month and making November Hip Hop History Month. You have to ask yourself, how do they even come up with this kind of stuff? And I'm trying to tell you, when you see foolishness like this being passed in the Senate, I'm telling you, they're playing with you. This is how these folks play with you. They make fun of you, and they're playing with you, and they're testing you to see, can we really just do and say anything? And Black folks to go for it? Biden's been in office, going to 3 years now? And what? We got Hip Hop History Month, Hip Hop Celebration Day, and Hip Hop Recognition Month. And now, as a follow-up, let me give you guys the follow-up, right? Now, as a follow-up to this, this is what we have our so-called Black leaders, right? Our Black political representatives fighting for. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this foolishness. Rap Act. A bill to ban use of lyrics as court evidence reintroduced to Congress. Really? That's what we're doing? The Rap Act? We the Democrats, right? Your representatives in Congress, Jamaal Bowman, and one other brother as well, right? The Congressional Black Caucus is out here promoting. They're trying to get the Rap Act passed. The Rap Act. And we're going to get into what that is in just a moment, right? We're going to get into what that is in just a moment. So this is what you have our representatives fighting for, right? This is what they're doing out here. Our so-called Black leaders are out here trying to get the Rap Act passed. That's what they're trying to do. Now, mind you, as I've stated over and over again, and I told you all, I'm going to die on this hill, okay? There is no issue more pressing, more dire that needs to be addressed and needs to be settled than the closing of the racial wealth gap. If the racial wealth gap is not closed, right, then nothing else matters. If that's not what the goal is, if that's not what we're working towards, all other legislation is nonsense. It's all BS, right? And it's all a waste of time if that's not what we're working for, okay? There's 409 people in here. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button if you have not already. And understand, when I say that, that's not just me saying this, okay? That's not just me saying this. When I say that, Biden also agrees with me saying that as well, because I got this from Biden, okay? I'm gonna let you all know right now. That isn't me saying this. This is Joe Biden who said this. Let me play this clip for you from a video that I uploaded a while back ago, right? Future, economically speaking, let me remove myself from off the screen. Okay. in the very near future, economically speaking, you are going to be the walking dead out here. And even Joe Biden knows this to be true. And I quote, "Unless the black community is able to make up the wealth gap, in my humble opinion, there is real trouble."
Unless the black community is able to make up the wealth gap, in my humble opinion, is real trouble. Unless the black community is able to make up the wealth gap, in my humble opinion, is real trouble. Unless the black community is able to make up the wealth gap, in my humble opinion, is real trouble.
Okay, I had to make sure to play that 3 times for you guys, 3 times Umar, right? So they know what the problems are. They know what's really happening out here. They know what needs to be done, yet they don't do it. And instead, they promote and try to pass silly bills now, right? Like the Rap Act. That's what they're passing. The racial wealth gap is the most pressing issue that's going on within the black community that needs to be addressed. But no, Jamaal Bowman wants to pass the Rap Act, right? Not legislation that could close the racial wealth gap. Let's get into this really quickly, okay? Let's read a little bit of this. The Restoring Artist Protection Act, Rap Act, a bill first introduced last July to protect artists from the wrongful use of their lyrics against them in criminal and civil proceedings, has been reintroduced to Congress by 2 Democratic congressmen, Hank Johnson and big homie Jamaal Bowman. At a press conference streamed live by the Recording Academy, the congressmen were joined by representatives of the Black Music Action Coalition, the Recording Academy, the Black Music Collective, SAG-AFTRA, and other First Amendment advocates in making a public demand for artists' free speech rights. Imagine the assembly of these kind of folks, but they were actually pushing, let's just say, for reparations, or they were actually pushing in general just for a tangible, concrete, transformative legislation that would actually move the needle on closing the racial wealth gap. Imagine how powerful that would be. But no, instead, these folks are trying to push the Rap Act. Okay, they've already secured Hip Hop Celebration Day on August 11th. They've already secured Hip Hop Recognition Month in August. They've already secured Hip Hop History Month in November. And now our glorious black leader, Jamaal Bowman, is trying to secure the Rap Act, right? As well as all the other black organizations within the music industry. Let's get the Black Act passed. Sure. That's just what we need. Exactly. The bill seeks to add a presumption to the federal rules of evidence that would limit the admissibility of evidence of an artist's creative or artistic expression against that artist in court. Since 2020, the group found that prosecutors in more than 500 criminal cases have used artists' lyrics as evidence against them. I'm going to be brutally honest with you about this, right? I'm going to be brutally honest with you about this. In the face of what we know and understand to be true, right? In the face of what we know and understand to be true, which is this, and remember, Biden knows this as well, right?
If the black community is able to make up the wealth gap, in my humble opinion, is real trouble.
So in the face of what we know to be true, I can care less about a goofy rapper who raps about doing goofy things and then goes out and emulates those goofy things in real life, gets jammed up, and then the court uses his goofy lyrics against him. I really don't care. That's just me being brutally honest. I really don't care, right? Because if you're out here being goofy, then you get what you get and you get what you deserve. You see, J. Cole never gets jammed up like this. Kendrick Lamar never gets jammed up like this. Why? Because they're not goofy. But if you're going to be out here rapping goofy lyrics and then you want to be a goofy in real life, and I'm just being nice, right? I don't like to curse and all that kind of stuff. But if that's how you out here moving, then you get what you get, man. I really don't got nothing for you. Not in the face of all the real issues and problems that are going on, in the black community. Not in the face of what we actually know to be true and the things that we know need to be done politically. I can't get down with supporting a rap act. Nobody has time for that right now. We don't have time for this. Shout out to Untried Juice, Untried Juice, Untried Genius. Thank you very much for the super chat, brother. And he's a channel member as well, so he's doubling down on his support, man. What's funny is it's Democrat DA that's prosecuting YSL case. Yeah, it's a Democratic Party. It's a Democrat DA that's prosecuting the YSL case, right? So they speak out of both ends of their behind, to say the very least. Let's get back into this. So what I want to do right now is and I don't want to kill you guys because I know this it's going to be hard to listen to. It's about 5 minutes long. We're definitely not going to listen to the whole 5 minutes, but I just want to present to you all the visual, right? The visual of this nonsense behind supporting the Rap Act, right? I just wanted to give you just something for you to see as it pertains to this. So we're going to listen to Jamaal Bowman speak for a little bit and just listen. I'm going to play maybe about 2 minutes of it, right? Look at all the extra sauce that he puts on attempting to sell the Rap Act. Just listen to the first 2 minutes of this 5 minutes video, and he just puts so much on it to sell this foolishness and to get you to believe that the Rap Act is a very serious thing that needs to be passed, right? So let me play this for you right now. Give me just a moment while I pull this video up. And also, I think there's, what does it say, about 436 of you in here right now. Please hit the like button. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button. Now let's check out what Jamaal Bowman had to say, right? This is going to be painful, but here we go.
Amendment dictates that we have.
Let me start it over. Okay.
Our First Amendment dictates that we have the freedom to speak and express ourselves. First Amendment. When we founded the United States of America, there were many who did not want to move forward without the First Amendment being in place. Because if you do not have freedom of speech, you do not have a democracy. And we already saw our democracy under attack on January 6, 2021. That's right.
Oh, here we go with the January 6 talk. Okay. Anyways, let's keep going.
And we see many, like Tucker Carlson and many at Fox News, who have continued to perpetuate an us versus them ideology.
I 100% agree with you, Slauson girl. They need to protect journalists' First Amendment's right. Right? That's what they need to be protecting. If they're going to be protecting anything, they need to be protecting that, right?
That divides America more towards fascism and more away from democracy. But what's beautiful about creativity in the arts is it brings people together.
That's right.
It brings people together from diverse experiences, from diverse backgrounds, regardless of race or age or gender or what have you. It brings people together to create beautiful masterpieces that educate, inform, and inspire the next generation of leaders that we need in Washington and across the country.
I can't do this anymore. I can't listen to this man's foolishness. If we're talking about the Rap Act, then those type of artists that he's describing, they don't have those kind of issues. The Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole's of the world. So we definitely don't. If we're gonna listen to what a rapper has to say, that's gonna inspire the next generation to like run for office and to fight for freedom and stuff like that. If we're gonna actually listen to rappers, which I don't believe we should on serious matters like this, but if we are, it's definitely not going to be the Young Thugs of the world. It's definitely not going to be that. The people who I guess the Rap Act will protect. It's definitely not going to be that. But once again, in light of all the serious issues that the Black community is dealing with, in light of all this, right? And in light, I'm going to keep playing this because people got to know about this. And in the face of what we know to be a fact, right? Here we go again.
Black community is able to make up the wealth gap, in my humble opinion, is real trouble. Unless the black community is able to make up the wealth gap, in my humble opinion, is real trouble.
Once again, in the face of what we know to be true, and Joe Biden as well, and the rest of the Democratic Party, you see, they know what the real issue is. And in the face of what we know to be true, this is what the Congressional Black Caucus is pushing. This is what the Democrats are pushing. This is what they're doing out here, right? And they know that they can do it because they know that Black folks aren't going anywhere. I'm going to show you this one more time in closing, right? Time is flying. We're almost at an hour. I had so much more that I wanted to get to, but you all know we're approaching that time, right? But they know that they can do this because, just come back to this right here, right? Come back to the actual data. Joe Biden's favorability rating. White America, a strong F, beyond a F, negative 59%, right? Other, meaning AAPI and everybody else, right? People of color and whatnot. 52.2% approval rating, which is an F. Hispanics, 50.6%, right? Which, 50, let me make it accurate. 57%, which is an F, right? And then we come to Black folks. Lord have mercy. 77.8%. As long as they know that they have you in the bag like this, right? As long as they know that they have you in pocket. Biden knows that they have you in pocket. Now the approval rating has dropped a little bit. It dipped a little bit, right? And the fact that it dipped a little bit, they're freaking out and they're saying, hey, we got to sell the Blacks on something. Jamaal Bowman, get out there and sell them on the RAP Act, right? You get out there and you sell them on the RAP Act, Jamaal. As long as once it dips a little bit, that's when you start seeing foolishness like this come out. When it starts to dip a little bit, that's when all of a sudden you start hearing about, pretty soon, mark my words, they're going to reintroduce that Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. How long have they been teasing Black folks with Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill? They've been teasing you with that for about over 4 years now, 6 years now, something like that. I think maybe since Obama, so a lot longer than 6 years. And they still haven't dropped that Harriet Tubman $20 bill yet. They still haven't dropped it yet, right? Because they only say these kind of silly things and do these kind of silly things when they feel like the approval rating has dropped a little bit. But once again, even with the approval rating with Black Americans that strong, it goes to show how powerful our votes actually are, right? And if we're not weaponizing the vote to make sure that we get what we need, weaponizing it meaning that Biden and them need to go ahead and lose. Go ahead and let DeSantis and Trump get in there one time. Let Trump get back in there, let DeSantis get in there. Let them get in there. You got to weaponize the vote. You got to weaponize it. You have to. If you're not, and I should say if we're not, then we're fools. We're fools for not weaponizing it and getting what we need out of politics. And because we don't weaponize it, and they do know that they have us in pocket, that's why you see foolishness like what I just presented to you, where you have all these hip hop history days, hip hop history months, hip hop celebration days, silliness, nonsense that's being passed in the Senate. Nothing manages to pass in the Senate, but that does. And then they follow up with the RAP Act. It's never going to stop. It's never going to end.